This discussion provides an overview of the various arguments and considerations surrounding the licensing of IT professionals, highlighting the need for a nuanced and inclusive approach to regulation within the tech industry. Licensing of IT professionals is a contentious issue within the technology industry. While some advocate for strict regulatory measures to ensure competency and safeguard consumer interests, others argue that such regulations could stifle innovation and impose unnecessary barriers to entry. This discussion aims to explore the various facets of this topic and consider its implications for the future of the IT profession. Ensuring competency and quality. One of the primary arguments in favor of licensing IT professionals is the need to ensure competency and quality in the services they provide. By establishing standardized qualifications and competency assessments, licensing frameworks aim to protect consumers from subpar or unethical practices. This can be particularly crucial in areas such as cybersecurity, where the consequences of incompetence or negligence can be severe. Balancing innovation and regulation. However, opponents of licensing often raise concerns about its potential to stifle innovation and entrepreneurship within the tech industry. They argue that imposing rigid licensing requirements could deter individuals with non-traditional backgrounds or innovative ideas from entering the field. Moreover, in a rapidly evolving industry like IT, where new technologies and methodologies emerge regularly, overly prescriptive regulations may quickly become outdated or irrelevant. Diversity and inclusion. Another aspect to consider is the impact of licensing on diversity and inclusion within the IT profession. While proponents argue that licensing can establish clear pathways for underrepresented groups to enter the industry, critics warn that stringent requirements may inadvertently perpetuate existing disparities. For example, individuals from lower-income backgrounds or marginalized communities may face greater barriers to obtaining the necessary education or certifications. Global perspectives and harmonization. The issue of licensing also takes on a global dimension, with different countries implementing varying regulatory frameworks for IT professionals. While some advocate for greater harmonization of licensing standards to facilitate international collaboration and mobility, others argue that such efforts may overlook regional differences in technology, infrastructure, educational systems, and cultural contexts. Striking a balance between standardization and flexibility is essential to accommodate diverse global perspectives. Alternative approaches. In response to the limitations of traditional licensing models, alternative approaches to ensuring competency and professionalism in the IT industry have emerged. Industry certifications, continuous professional development programs, and adherence to professional codes of conduct are often cited as more flexible and inclusive alternatives to rigid licensing requirements. These approaches allow professionals to demonstrate their skills and expertise through practical experience and ongoing learning, rather than relying solely on formal qualifications. Ethical and legal considerations. As technology continues to advance, new ethical and legal considerations arise, challenging existing licensing frameworks. Issues such as data privacy, algorithmic bias, and the responsible use of emerging technologies like artificial intelligence and blockchain demand careful consideration within the context of IT regulation. Licensing bodies must adapt to address these evolving challenges while upholding ethical standards and protecting consumer interests.
In a thought-provoking exchange, Alex and Chris engage in a discussion about the licensing of IT professionals. Let's delve into their conversation and explore the differing viewpoints.
Hey Chris, have you ever considered the idea of licensing for IT professionals?
Yeah, I've heard about it, but I'm not entirely convinced it's necessary. Why do you think it's important?
Well, with the increasing complexity of modern systems, especially those critical to public safety like self-driving cars and medical information systems, I think it's crucial to ensure that IT workers have a certain level of competence and adhere to ethical standards. Licensing would provide a framework for that.
I see your point, but won't licensing create unnecessary barriers for entry into the field? Plus, there are already certifications and industry standards in place to ensure competence among IT professionals.
That's a valid concern, but I believe licensing would actually raise the bar for professionalism and encourage continuous learning and improvement. It would also provide a clear mechanism for accountability in cases of malpractice.
But what about the legal complexities and administrative burdens that licensing might introduce? And wouldn't it stifle innovation by imposing rigid standards on an industry known for its flexibility and rapid evolution?
I understand your concerns, but I think those issues can be addressed through careful implementation and ongoing review of licensing requirements. And while licensing might add some bureaucracy, I believe the benefits in terms of public safety and confidence in IT systems outweigh the drawbacks.
Fair points, Alex. I can see where you're coming from, but I still have reservations about whether licensing is the most effective way to achieve those goals. Maybe there are alternative approaches we could explore.
Absolutely, Chris. It's definitely a complex issue with no easy answers. I think it's important for us to continue discussing and evaluating different perspectives to find the best path forward for the IT industry and the public it serves.
The discussion between Alex and Chris highlights the nuanced debate surrounding the licensing of IT professionals. While Alex emphasizes the importance of licensing for ensuring competence and accountability, Chris raises valid concerns about potential drawbacks and alternative approaches. Continued dialogue and exploration of different viewpoints will be essential in shaping policies that strike the right balance between regulation and innovation in the IT field.
Conclusion. In conclusion, the licensing of IT professionals is a complex and multifaceted issue that requires careful consideration of competing interests and perspectives. While ensuring competency and quality is paramount, it's essential to strike a balance between regulation and innovation, and to promote diversity and inclusion within the profession. Moreover, as technology continues to evolve, licensing frameworks must adapt to address emerging ethical and legal challenges, ensuring that they remain relevant and effective in safeguarding consumer interests and promoting the responsible use of technology.